let's have a look. Of course, my wallet. Nothing in the other side. That side's nice though, because it's like fleece lined for phones and bullshit. Of course, up here, you gotta have your piece of plastic to put on the seat on the bus so you don't smell like a fucking Los Angeles hobo. Some Altoids. So I guess this is a hygiene pocket. And got the power. It's a power bank with this cool Joby brand cord. That's a 3-in-1. So now that we've got this ever-evolving scenario with all our devices, it comes with standard USB on one side, and then on the other side, it's got this little tree. So this is USB mini, like the old school, what phones used to be a few years ago, and then you can stack on top of it one at a time. What's going on here? There we go. USB-C, or the proprietary Apple connector that they call Lightning. These things are like $30, but so far they seem to last pretty well. And then of course I've got the big old battery you can plug your shit into. Then I carry a tube of alloy rounds. I got chopsticks, I got fucking Sharpie, I got a magazine, and then my pistol sits on top of here. And in there, we got this really cool thing I found. It's called a roamer tarp by the brand Climate. And it's just like, you know, say some dude falls down and has a heart attack, I can throw this on the ground and roll him over onto it so he's not like directly on salty concrete snow. And then also in there, keep a couple of those really cool Wegmans bars. And then the barrel of the pistol sits on those. And the frame rests on this. And then this is the latest thing I rigged up. Well, first of all, I always gotta have some water. It's awkward angle trying to move around the camera. Because this bag is supposed to be like lighter. It never works out. I just keep throwing shit into it. But these are like pretty nice. $20 if you're trying to build an IFAC or whatever, instead of paying like 40 plus from North American Rescue and what have you. And they have like laser cut Molly size on the front. And these MTAC brand from Ukraine, where all of our good U.S. citizens' tax dollars went to support the war in Ukraine. They created a company that builds like military products, but these are pretty good. They're like Molly panels, and on one side they're kind of smooth, and on the other side they're grippy. So these IFACs are Molly, and I slotted it through there, and they come with all of these like little attachments. These are Velcro, and then these ones are like low profile, and I got Band-Aids, an emergency blanket, batteries for my headlamp, and then this is drainable. That's pretty cool. And then inside, Wegmans produce bags for trash, headlamp, piece of cardboard so when the headlamp rests on the other things in the bag, it doesn't turn on. Big old strap, so if this is all I'm carrying, I can carry it around my waist. Little straps so I can lash things to it in case I gotta like, you know, carry tinder or something. More granola bars. And then in here will go the tourniquet. I found this new company called Snake Staff, and they make them like wider than a cat, and they're also shorter, and they're small enough to use on pets and children. And then on the back, I got the SRK Compact. I really like these knives. I found out after the fact that the SRK, the full-size one, like what I have on my desk, is actually what they give to the Navy guys when they're going through buds. That's pretty cool. These knives are fairly cheap. They got this really neat rubberized handle. They ship sharp as sin. And this sheath that they come in is like there's like a detent, so it totally stays in there. And then I got the shears on the back of there. And that Higo no Kami or whatever the fuck it's called. It's like a Japanese straight razor. It's hard to do it with one hand. Yeah, I'll put this down. This one's not like terribly sharp, but that's like my backup knife. I completely forgot to mention on the bottom of that there's also, by the same company, MTAC, a little multi-tool. And the little pouches that they come with aren't great. I wouldn't imagine this would last too super long, but they do have a belt loop on the back, and the seams are pretty good. The sort of, I don't want to call it canvas, it's almost papery. This material is definitely going to be prone to ripping, but it'll last a while. And the Velcro's not super well affixed. But the multi-tool itself, I feel pretty good about it. The metal seems of decent quality. It's a little heavier than might be ideal, which suggests to me that they didn't skimp out too awful much on the quality. But the design actually is pretty novel. It's your standard set of pliers. The spring's pretty nice. They've got the cutters and the two different types of grips, pretty standard. And then folding out, we've got like the sewing needle awl and a Phillips head. And then on the opposite side, basically like multi-purpose tools on each blade. There's like a flat head, a can opener, the other kind of can opener, a larger flat head, much bigger can opener, and then there's like a hook. I'm not exactly sure what that's for. Probably come up with a million uses for it. And they're all locking with this unlock mechanism. And then, you know, you've got your standard big old file, which is decently thick and is fastened really well. I don't have any problems thinking that'll last. And over here, decent sized blade. Not particularly sharp. Gotta sharpen that up. And this is the real cool part. Nice big saw. And again, everything locks. This seems really sturdy. It's well affixed. I would imagine it'll last. And it's got a little bit of spring to it too, so it's not brittle and gonna snap if you use it. And these are probably my favorite, the scissors. When you unfold them, they don't really snap into place unless you've got it open. But then they're good. You gotta open the blade. They have a really nice spring on them, and they're pretty sharp. I've definitely gotten a lot of use out of these so far. And it's that same locking mechanism. I think this was like $13. Out of all the stuff I've bought off that site, I would say this is the best value. And again, the pouch is kind of shit, but I would definitely recommend the multi-tool. And of course there's like, you know, bags of tea and shoelaces and shit like that. 50 Bic lighters for like 50 bucks. So these should probably last me the rest of my life. Plus, I would really recommend these if you don't know about them. These particular ones are made by a company called Apex Giant. Because for the most part, even these like little guys, it takes like 3 sets of hangers to bear their weight. So these are backpack hangers. They're expensive. I would definitely say overpriced. Oh, that's cute. But they're just really sturdy, thick plastic hangers. I think they're 3D printed. Apex Giant.